Vader's going in.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to SJU here on Phantom Entertainment. Please divert your attention from what's going on with the action figures on the table. There, I was like, I really wish.
Don't judge sex-positive
I wish we had
Skeletor.
a top down, honestly.
So does Skeletor.
This is truly a sight to behold.
Doesn't seem like a comfortable position.
No, but
No.
also don't judge him. That's the one
Yeah.
he chose.
Skeletor's leg is like it's very. I don't know if that's easier access or.
Thing.
Ah!
There's a lot going on here. But, here we are.
Ancient religion. Anyway,
It's,
There's a reason why one of my minions is named Trapjaw.
Ryan. I wish Ryan had a microphone so you could hear how hard Ryan laughed at that. Joe's just going to do an entire stand-up set based around, Skeletor's minions.
Yes. Clawful!
Which may or may not have already been done by Nick Weiger,
Nick Weiger.
as Skeletor during Tournament
Cheers,
of
Nick
Nerds.
Weiger.
What did you ask, Roxy?
What is it called?
What is what called?
I mean, Darth Vader's head is
Oh,
just,
the position.
it's kind of hovering, but he does have the Force.
Darth Hover.
So, you know.
Hidden.
He is planking. He's planking.
Planking.
Is it a force plank? It's a force plank.
We promise we're actually going to talk about something
It's
related.
called planking on Snake Mountain.
I'm gonna take a picture of it and legit have you guys insert what's happening.
Yeah.
That's what I will do.
Yeah, Roxy's going to do that. We'll tweet that
This
out.
episode's what we call a blaze of glory, folks.
When this episode airs, we want to know from you. Yes, there it is.
Oh, you got it.
Please let us know in the comments what this position is called in the fictional action figure Kama Sutra, if you were.
And hopefully this is the first episode of this show that our executive team watches.
Breaking news: SJU is canceled, or it's pushed to the top of Phantom Entertainment's
Either or.
content.
Either
Could go
or.
either way. Could go either way. We got a great panel here today. It's the same panel you've seen probably every day this week. I'm still wearing the same outfit. These were all filmed on the same day. I'm not adding to the illusion. I'm Emma Fife. I'm your host. Joining me on the panel today, we have got Ed Greer.
Ed Different Shirt Greer.
Whoa, Ed Differinger.
And always up on the changing fashion trends, we have got Roxy Stryer.
Something about like blue balls, but blue,
Still there.
blue. May the blue balls be with you always. Thank you.
Ryan's given that the bell of approval, and we have got
no smile from Ed.
a Joe Star.
I was
on the
thinking
panel as
about it.
well.
Ed's hard to impress.
He is.
Just on a pure comedy level. It's tough sometimes.
I was thinking about it. I was going through it in my head.
It's true.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, anytime I say something and it genuinely makes Ed Greer laugh, I feel like I am the funniest person in existence. So I feel you on that,
Yeah.
Joe.
Oh.
Yeah. He's not, I don't want to say he's not generous with his laughter because he laughs a lot, but it's just like
Right.
when it's truly laughing at a joke someone has made.
We lost Roxy.
It's Roxy, are you okay?
Skull and Bones?
Roxy, you got it? You got it.
Skeletor, I am your daddy.
See, there you go. That's funny. She's trying.
Roxy is very entertained by her own joke.
Down, down in a blaze of glory.
And in these trying times, we have to find ways to amuse ourselves. We personally decided that we would put action figures in questionable positions, but you at home have been asking for us to discuss our favorite feel-good movies or movies that help pick us up when we're down. So that's what we're actually here
Yeah.
to do.
This is based
today.
on multiple fan questions and requests.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So let's get into it. I'm gonna let Roxy recover a little bit from her
Wow.
own tremendously amazing joke.
That was
He's
like
gone.
my best ever.
It was really she's crying.
Remember this
It was
moment?
really good, Roxy.
I'll never get better than this.
And what are some movies that you watch when you're feeling blue and you need a little good old fashioned movie cheer?
Blade. No, I don't know.
I wouldn't judge you if that's truly your answer.
I wouldn't judge me either. You know what I do? I think my girlfriend got me into this. I will watch Aliens for pleasure over and over and over, just because it starts out so green. I mean, not green. It starts out so
Grim.
Grim, yes, that's the word. It starts out so grim, but I mean, it's got the perfect ending of like, I've saved a child. I've, Roxy, I've made
Roxy's still there.
Everything you're saying, like this could be called the Grim.
This is a totally grim, dark situation.
I was gonna say favorite feel good movies. Who's feeling good right now? Skeletor.
And Darth Vader, he's a giver. You know what I mean?
We've known that about him for a very long time.
Right.
So giving that Darth Vader.
I hate Sam.
It gets everywhere, just like me. No, but yeah, I'll watch. I watch things like 80s crap from when I was a kid.
Okay,
it's more or less what I watch. So it'll be like a rotation of things like Aliens, Die Hard, occasionally something like Speed, even where it's like, and occasionally something like
Speed's
like a
pick me up.
Yeah, like just a weird things where kind of things aren't going to get too grim. Things aren't going to get too bad. They have happy endings. They have heroic triumphant endings.
Yeah.
That kind of makes me feel good more than just a stupid comedy.
Sure. I totally understand where you're coming from with Aliens, because like when you first said it, I went, Aliens? Really? But you're totally right. And ultimately for me watching Aliens, I remember, again, it's like this woman, everything's bad for her. We know her from Alien already. Everything was terrible for her in that movie, and we see her kind of like coming back in Aliens.
Yes. Yeah,
right.
I get that.
And even that thing about like, and I don't want to like contribute to like, people being gaslit, especially women and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, she feels like she's being gaslit.
Yeah,
like she's
she
like,
does.
yo, I told you there was aliens. There's no aliens, but just in case there are aliens, go down here with a bunch of military shock troops. That sounds like you think there's aliens there, bro.
So how do you feel about like a Terminator 2 Judgment Day? Because it's sort of a similar situation with Sarah Connor in that movie.
Yeah. No, that's definitely in the rotation. I think the only things I don't watch when I want to feel good are things where the grim period is too grim for too long. I can't really mess with those.
Sure. Joe, what are your picks?
I'm going to go, my first one is going to be Princess Mononoke.
Oh,
nice.
Good choice.
Specifically
Good choice.
the dub.
Interesting. I mean, Gillian Anderson, you all know that I'm so in love with her.
The score is amazing, but then there's also something very calming about all the performances.
Yeah.
There's something very soothing about the way Billy Crudup plays Ashitaka.
Yeah, I agree. No, I love the dub of Princess Mononoke. I
Gillian
genuinely
Anderson crushes that movie. Everyone just everything about it is calming and very chill. I think all of my movies are very like CBD on film, because normally if I'm feeling down, that actually means I'm like way up here and want to throw a car or something.
Okay,
so I usually like my down is like is not like it's always just ha.
Yeah.
So I need to come down to like a more calm like ha.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mononoke does it.
Yeah, I've got Ghibli films on my list too, for sure. Like I would say though, for me, even though I love Princess Mononoke, but my go-tos for sort of like calming down, making me feel better kind of movies are Howl's Moving Castle and Whisper of the Heart, which is not Miyazaki, but same studio. And if you've never seen Whisper of the Heart, it's so good. I love it so much.
This is a Whisper of the Heart, right? Right here. That's what's happening right here.
Well, now the show's just boned.
Roxy, what you got?
All right, so I'm going to say some things, and then I'm going to say the real thing, and hopefully you guys will understand and love me afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. Great movies that make you feel good. Like, I'm a lover of love. I love love. So any, like, amazing rom-coms, or even like I watched How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days the other day. Again, it's great. But I love Grease. I love Princess Bride. I love Role Models. I think that's such a funny movie.
I love Role Models. That's almost so on my list.
But to be 100% honest with you guys, and I've done this once on the show before, and hopefully I'm not doing it again right now. Keeping in mind, as a Jewish woman, a lot of times when I'm really down, I watch the most depressing movies there ever were to remind myself that whatever's going on in my life is not that bad.
I get that.
So one of my to make me feel better movies about like whatever I'm specifically going through is Schindler's List, because I think that the movie is so brilliant, and it is like the most crushing, and obviously affected many members of my family. But when I watch it, I feel like whatever the F I was thinking about, I'm like, the real things matter, and things have happened. So whenever I'm feeling like, it's the same reason why, like, whenever I am feeling not self-righteous, but like whatever's going on in my life is the most important thing, then I'll go to like a homeless shelter or to a soup kitchen or something to help, and then I realize like whatever I thought that was wrong is not effing wrong. I'm just being a little baby about it.
Yeah.
And anytime I watch that movie, I'm like, I don't even remember what I started being so peeved about.
Sure.
So that it's not my feel-good movie. Obviously, watching it is gut-wrenching, but it is my get your stuff together movie, Roxy. Like, you've got to feel okay about your life right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
No, it makes total sense. It
sense.
makes total sense. Mine, it's obviously very, very different because what I am talking about are comedies. But there is a level of part of the appeal of it is that it's about characters who don't have real problems. And it's more of like me watching that goes, oh, my problems are silly. And it's literally any adaptation of Emma.
Really?
Yes. So I was named after the heroine of the book, Emma Woodhouse, and I really see a lot of myself in that character, and that, you know, she is incredibly, at least the way that Jane Austen wrote her, and I think in the most recent adaptation with Anya Taylor-Joy is unbelievable as Emma, and some of that's the directing and the writing, and them very much skewing that. The movie's never dunking on her. Yeah, she makes stupid decisions. That's the point. But ultimately, she's still portrayed as somebody who's very well-meaning, but just sometimes does dumbass things. And I feel that I am that person. Like, I'm somebody that has a lot of privilege, much as the main character in the book does. And sometimes I screw up, but ultimately it's like I am a well-intentioned person, and I'm not horrible. So I love every adaptation of that, and I include Clueless in that collection as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wow, and that's a weird thing. I forgot the Emma connection.
Yeah.
I forgot that all the way. I was gonna say, yeah, kind of like Clueless makes me feel that way.
Yeah.
It's like, duh, you're just seeing the DNA of the
That's literally
story,
it.
stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, that character is a person who has a certain level of privilege, but she can't drive.
Right,
she can't do this, she
totally,
can't do
yeah.
that, you know, and she still has struggles.
It's cool when you feel like your name fits.
Yes.
Like I felt like a Roxy my whole life for all the various different Roxy character, whatever. But
Yeah.
like, I'd love to hear you say that.
I feel
connect that, but that's cool.
so represented by that character. In general, my go-to sort of feel-good movies are Jane Austen adaptations or things that are loosely Jane Austen adaptations. Like, my God, I can watch the heck out of Bridget Jones' Diary.
Yeah, I can.
Freaking love that movie.
And
too.
your movies are weird though. Like I really feel how weird you are.
Yeah.
Because
Thank you.
like that, because I feel that way too myself. Like that, I felt weird saying aliens, but I also feel weird saying stuff like, I mean, I gotta say. For a dumb old man of a certain age, I look at something like Jackie Brown. I've talked about Jackie Brown a billion times on this show.
Yeah.
People think it's this crime movie with a bunch of people saying the N-word a lot and crime guys and Elmore Leonard and just this grimy 70s world. To me, it's beautifully shot. The needle drops in it are wonderful. You know, it's like music my mom used to listen to. That's what Jackie Brown listens to because she's a black lady in like early 90s. So she's like, it's almost she's the same age as my mom at the time. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm watching my mom have an adventure and beat gangsters. You know what I mean? And it's a hangout movie. And Bridget Fonda's wonderful in it. And just, there's so many people in the movie.
Anything that makes you feel proud to be you based on.
Yeah. Well, I
Right.
think that's why in some more contemporary storytelling, particularly when it's focused on students in high school, like say a Booksmart or Sex Education, like I feel so much more represented. Like I watch those shows and I think, oh my God, like I was like this in high school. And I remember being a high schooler and watching shows about high schoolers and going, I don't feel represented by this.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that is some of it. It's the seeing yourself represented in what you're watching and connecting with it on some level where, be it like Roxy saying like a Schindler's List, like a, hey, I connect to what this was, and I am able to now see perspective on my own life and go, I really have it good.
And look how far we've come.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. To me, you know, seeing in the most recent adaptation of Emma when they're leaving the Box Hill picnic and she's sitting in one of a line of like 6 carriages crying because she was mean to someone. Like, it's great.
Well, and sometimes you'll key in on a movie that has nothing to do with you, and that's what makes it heal you.
Yeah.
I went through a real Wes Anderson phase, and let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Ain't nothing Wes Anderson that relates to me culturally, mentally, anything. But they're so
Did it for you, though.
they're so alien to me.
Yeah.
That world is so alien from how symmetrical all the frames are to what the people's problems are to I could watch Royal Tenenbaums or Rushmore, not any of the other movies, I'm sorry, but I can watch either one of those two because they hit this nice sweet spot of that was when he was a nice, sprightly boy of 35.
Well,
You know.
there's something Tenenbaums to sort of bounce off of what Roxy was saying in Tenenbaums is it's not even always like about being like, oh, my stuff is small potatoes because like this movie's but there's also something about just like sitting in it with someone, and sometimes that someone is a story, a movie or a song.
And when you live by yourself, often that someone is a story.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
like why? Yeah, it's like
That's why Netflix is so big. Because Netflix is everybody's roommate, dog.
That is so real.
Netflix and chill out and just stop crying. But you know, it's the same reason of like, I should be listening to like super like happy songs all the time, but I don't. If I'm if I'm miserable,
sad,
I'm just
I don't
like
wanna listen to happy
yeah.
songs.
If I'm down or sad or stressed out, God damn it. Sorry, they flipped over.
God,
Skeletor was starting to chafe.
What's happening here?
He's gonna tear his
Is it coming
meniscus.
down?
Well, no, he's guiding more people into the situation. It's like
This is called Let There Be
the
Light.
he's guiding a Star Destroyer down.
Ready to launch.
So back to being existentially miserable. Saying Tenenbaums just fun me there because like so many times I look back and I'm like, God, so many times when I was down, like I was never interested in getting picked up. I just wanted to watch Royal Tenenbaums. I just wanted to see Richie look in a mirror, announce that he was going to kill himself tomorrow, and then needle in the hay drops. Like that's all I want. I don't want these stories to make me happy or pick me up sometimes. I just want to be in the mud with them.
Yeah, you just
Like-
want to feel those emotions. I mean, it's one of the reasons that I effing love crying at a movie or a TV show. I love it. I love it like more than anything else in the
Can
world.
you hear Ryan shouting yes?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ryan. Ryan
Chief
is
Sad Boy.
into it. Yes, sad boy Ryan.
Chief Sad Boy Ryan.
Ryan's like, I'll have what she's having.
A good cry.
I had said one word this whole time. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I absolutely love it because you get to like work through your own emotions. I think when you are experiencing emotions watching a TV or a TV show or a film. But when that movie is over or that TV show is over, you don't have to feel that way anymore. It's like there's an ending to it. Whereas if it's your own life, you have to keep dealing with those feelings.
Right.
Wow, that
You
just
know?
blew my mind, Emma.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep, that's
puts
why
a cap on it.
That's why I loved my stupid Star Wars RPG that Joe and I were on, because I got to have a whole roller coaster of emotions, and I didn't have to feel any of them when it was over. Like, I got to be that character. I got to experience everything that she would have experienced emotionally because I was playing her and making all of her decisions. But as soon as we said cut, I just got to be me again.
Once a week, Emma and I
Nice.
sobbed with each other on camera.
Yeah.
And then we'd go home. It was great. On the Star Wars note, because I agree, it's like you get in and then you get out. It's almost like having prescriptions.
Yeah.
That you can jump to. Like as maligned as the scene gets for the Space Mary Poppins or whatever.
Yeah.
From the first time I saw Carrie Fisher say "fuck you" to death and like decide to peace out of freezing to death in space.
You and
Every
both.
time I see, and obviously there's so much built up in that. You know,
That makes me cry every time.
I was still mourning Carrie Fisher. I was the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, well, let's now say goodbye because this is clearly how they're exiting Leia. And then Carrie Fisher, as if she like heard me say that to myself, like squeezes her fist, and I'm like, yeah, you don't leave me, Carrie. You never leave me.
I know.
And you're just like, and so I still, if I need that, like I know I can go back to Last Jedi and get that moment.
Yeah.
Or if I need Darth crossing a little too much of a line and Luke Skywalker going, no, and then just beating the hell out of this robot guy that's been giving him so many problems, I can go to Return of the Jedi. There's like all these weird little like pills I can take out of Star Wars for when I need them.
Who actually just said Return of the Jedi and pointed at
When he gets worn out, he's like, what I'm using is more machine now than man.
But I would actually make an addendum. This appears to be The Force Awakens. We're just going to act like we're...
Oh, no. That, my friend, is the Rise of Skywalker.
Hey!
On that note, we want to thank you all so much for watching this show.
This is the best one we've ever done.
This
It's
really
probably the last one.
This is probably the last episode of SGU ever. So
had to go out.
It's been great knowing you, but just in case we're not canceled, make sure you like, subscribe, smash that bell. Yeah! Smash that bell.
Smash that bell.
It's never ending. Please let us know in the comments below if you have any more names for what's been going down here today.
Words, Emma.
Comments below.
The comments below.
Comments below.
I was going with going down.
Yeah, you guys are all
Now
great.
you know what that giant red button on his chest is for.
So ridiculous.
What do you want to say?
I wanted to say that we wanted to do a couple quick fan questions before we get out of here. Before we get out of here. Kyle Hudson at Silver_Scholar4 asks, who at Screen Junkies is most likely to be an extraterrestrial space alien? Now, Roxy says there's only one answer to this
I gotta
question.
hear your guys' answer. I'm not gonna tell you who it is.
All right.
There is an answer to this question, and if you guys don't get it, then you guys don't deserve to know who an alien is.
Okay. Joe, you're here the most often, so I'm going to turn to you first.
You don't know him. He's never been on camera. He's no longer our social guy. He's now in communications at Fandom. Yeah. David Pacman, who maybe you might have met him at conventions and panels and stuff like that, is always happy, always optimistic, can never be beaten down. And there's no way he's a human being. Like, he's so happy and so optimistic and so unflappable and just so ready to get in there. And to the point where there's like a...
I know his childhood best friend because I work with him at Universal, and he's got like a similar energy to Pac-Man. So I'm echoing your sentiment. I think they're both aliens.
Also freakishly strong.
No, yes, he's a strong little man.
Yes.
I would draft him on my Apocalypse team. Just like, hey, we might need some boxes lifted, do some wads or whatever.
We need morale and squats.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I was going to say Spencer, but I've changed my mind.
The answer is obviously Pac-Man. It is
Okay.
100%, without a doubt. I wish I wrote it down. He's an actual alien.
Yeah.
I don't. First
he's got
of all,
a nickname.
I say humanity doesn't deserve you enough around Pac-Man and about Pac-Man that I think I need to actually start hearing what I'm saying and recognize that he's a weird alien space savior.
He's fantastic, and also because he always does the right thing, I can't ever predict what he's gonna do because I think that, like, oh, you're not gonna go do that, and then he does the nice, like, he is not of this world. If we had to pick somebody, Emma, to your point, if we had to pick somebody that was on air, it is Spenny.
Totally Spencer.
It is
yeah.
Spenny for sure, because also weird. Like
Very chill.
who are you?
like-
I've worked with you for the last 6 years, and I know. One time I saw a picture of your kid, and I'll say it for a million times. Like one time I saw
Yeah.
it. You showed me one time.
Yeah.
I'll agree with Spencer if we go with the premise that, like, remember the movie Spaced Invaders from the 80s? It was like these like 4 little stoner aliens crashed on a planet, and like
He was one of them.
Yeah.
either one of them or he's an alien they met later, and so they were like his biggest influence, and now he's like real chill and like that's how I'll
Yeah,
accept.
but the answer is, and I'm so glad you said it. I almost like jumped out of my seat, but I didn't want to give it away. He is the answer. He's
Awesome.
he is an alien.
I'm sorry if it was disappointing because it wasn't somebody that you guys regularly know on camera.
But now you all know about Pac-Man, and honestly, your lives are better for it. Is it me? I don't know. Oh, well, I think that
Is this your skin?
at this point, yes. At this point, it's a joke. I'm like an animated character. I'm like in Hey Arnold when he opens his closet, and it's just all the same outfit.
Yeah.
That is me. If you go to my closet, it's just a closet full of green jumpsuits. I wish, but these jumpsuits are not budget friendly. But dang, they're worth it. They're very good quality. I don't think we can end on a better note than that. Than us all just agreeing on the fact that that David Pac-Man, we have got a real, true, I would
Yeah.
say, altruistic alien amongst our ranks.
And when the Men in Black
Right.
come for you, we've got your back, dude.
Yeah, we got you, David Pac-Man.
Yeah.
So until next time, Ed Greer, where can the people find you?
Nerd Goat Podcast at Ed Greer Destroys on Twitter and Instagram, and Reboot It YouTube channel.
Roxy Stryer.
Reboot it.
Oh, and one thing, everybody's saying their Patreon all the time. There is a Nerd Goat Patreon. If you guys are interested, you can search, just put Nerd Goat, into Patreon and check us out. A few shekels would do a lot of good in these times.
Yeah. Roxy.
Everybody is saying their Patreon all the time. Patreon.com/Roxy Stryer. On social media at Roxy Stryer, I tell you everything I'm doing there. And YouTube.com/Roxy Stryer. Hopefully by this point I've hit my 20K subs. So thank you guys for helping me do that. But let's keep going. And thank you guys so much.
Joe.
I mean, hopefully someday as a guest on Roxy's podcast. I just want to be asked to homecoming, and
Boo! Boo!
and but make sure you subscribe to her channel. Make sure that you are rating and commenting on and reviewing Ed and Emma's podcasts. Support creators that you like in this field. They everything's bad, and every little bit that you guys can do to help helps.
Yeah. I am Emma Fife, at Emma Fife everywhere, Instagram, Twitter, et cetera, et cetera. And like Joe was saying, I've got a podcast. It's called Not Safe for Weebs. If you enjoyed any of this content.
And you did.
You did. You know you did. Then my podcast might be a great fit for you. So be sure to check that out. And on that note, thank you all so much for watching this, whatever this was. And we'll see you all again soon.
He my man.
Peekaboo.